There was a moment earlier this year, you swore in 2 Republican members during a pro forma session. So why not swear in Adelita Grijalva, who was elected 2 weeks ago during a pro forma session? Does it have to do with her 218th signature on the discharge petition, the Epstein discharge?
No, it has nothing to do with that at all. We will swear her in when everybody gets back. It's a ceremonial duty. Look, we'll schedule it, I guess, as soon as she wants. It has nothing to do with it.
That was Speaker Mike Johnson on Tuesday telling a reporter that he would swear in Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva as soon as she wants. But then yesterday, when confronted by Arizona's 2 senators, Speaker Mike Johnson sang a very different tune.
We have a long tradition here and a process of how we administer the oath to a member. You know, you served here for a while. We're going to do that as soon as we get back to work, but we need the lights turned back on, so we encourage both of you to go open the government.
So what changed? He went from as soon as she wants to as soon as we get back to work. And remember, Grijalva was duly elected over 2 weeks ago. By refusing to swear her in, Speaker Johnson is denying hundreds of thousands of Arizonans from having a representative in Congress. And it's not like it'd be unprecedented to swear her in. When Democrats were in the majority, then Speaker Pelosi swore in 2 Republicans. And earlier this year, Speaker Johnson raced to swear in 2 Republican members from Florida the day after their races were called. So why is the Speaker refusing to swear her in? Maybe because Grijalva has vowed to be the pivotal 218th signature on a measure that would force a floor vote on the full release of the Epstein files. Whatever the reason, it shows that for Republicans, it's once again rules for thee, but not for me. Whether it's refusing to release the Epstein files or by showering billionaires with tax breaks instead of saving healthcare for the millions of Americans who are being priced out of it. I'm Curtis Bradley Brown, director of DNC Studios, and your host for today. It's Thursday, October 9th, and this is the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. So after refusing to negotiate for months, Republicans are realizing that their pro-billionaire, anti-healthcare views are wildly unpopular. Earlier this year, Republicans slashed Medicaid funding by more than $1 trillion in their budget bill, putting rural hospitals and nursing homes on the chopping block and at risk of closing. And instead of bringing down the cost of healthcare in their budget bill, Republicans prioritized the ultra-rich for a permanent tax cut. They spent more than 10 times what it would cost to extend ACA tax credits on a permanent tax windfall for the wealthy. Because of this Republican betrayal, notices have been going out to many of the 22 million Americans who will see their health insurance premiums more than double. That's why we can't wait until the end of the year to negotiate. Prices are already rising. The damage is already being done. And if Republicans let the ACA tax credits expire at the end of the year, Americans will see the largest single-year premium price hike in U.S. history. A family of 4 earning $90,000 in income would pay nearly $3,800 more just to get healthcare every year. And an individual making $45,000 would pay an additional $1,800 a year for health insurance. Democrats don't think that's fair, especially when tax credits in the Affordable Care Act can be extended to make sure it doesn't happen. And that's why we're holding the line, fighting for healthcare until Republicans come to the table and negotiate. And we're also holding the line in Illinois, where the state attorney general Kwame Raoul sued the Trump administration to prevent it from deploying the National Guard in Chicago. A majority of Americans don't support using the National Guard for law enforcement efforts, and neither do Chicagoans, with nearly 2/3 opposing Trump sending in the Guard. But Trump is doing it anyway, without the consent of state and local leaders, and even as violent crime in Chicago is down and homicides are at a 60-year low. He's even calling for the arrest of Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson, who, newsflash, haven't done anything wrong. He's politicizing the military and calling for the arrest of Democrats, which are straight out of an authoritarian playbook. Under his watch, federal immigration enforcement has trampled all over the Constitution. And in the latest documented abuse, a Chicago area priest, yes, a priest, was shot in the head with a pepper ball after peacefully protesting outside an ICE facility. Again, this isn't the first time that Trump has used federal agents in the military to intimidate Americans and create chaos. And as Democrats, we're going to continue to hold them accountable, both online and on Election Day. Up and down the ballot, Democrats are running for office this year, working to bring down costs, keep communities safe, and hold Republicans accountable. And today, for our 60 candidates in 60 days before the November election segment, we're spotlighting Benji Wimberly, the Democratic candidate in the special election for New Jersey's State Senate District 35. After more than 13 years in the General Assembly, State Senator Wimberly was elected to fill the seat vacated by now Congresswoman Nellie Poe. Now he's running for re-election and he needs your help. So to make calls, knock doors, and volunteer with the Wimberley campaign, go to benjiewimberley.com. You can find that link in our video description below. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the Daily Blueprint. We're here every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern on the DNC's YouTube page. Until tomorrow.